Hi, this is Mrs. Neal, and we have a lesson on an introduction to number lines. This is a makeup lesson. So today's objective will be that students will learn to navigate a number line, and then students will plot whole numbers on a number line. We will also be using some fractions as well. So this is a number line. You've probably seen one before. It's got many numbers on it. This one is 0 to 10. They're whole numbers. This arrow on a number line means that it goes on forever. A number line such as this, where you could put a dot on it or an end to it, means it ends right there. That's not important for today, just a little fun trick. So number lines can contain whole numbers, such as you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or number lines can contain parts of numbers or fractions. This one goes from 0 to 1 to 2, but in between those you see a line here and a line here. So to figure out how to do that, obviously you can tell that the point between 0 and 1 right here is halfway. And the point between 1 and 2 here is also halfway. But if it were to get harder, you could figure it out this way. The way to figure out how many parts or segments are between two numbers is to just count them. 1, 2. So that denominator for that fraction of finding this line is going to be 2. The way that you find out what the numerator is to start at the 0 and count to the line, 1. So that's 1/2, just like we said. That's pretty easy, like I said. This one's a little more difficult. It's got 3 sections to it. 1, 2, 3. So the numerator on this one will be the denominator will be a 3. There's 3 total parts. And if you were going to find this line, we would count from the 0, 1, 2. And that would be 2/3 of the segment between 0 and 1. If you go beyond 1 or beyond any number besides 0, then you'll get into mixed numbers, but we're not going to do that today. So let's try a question. What position on the number line is the red dot located? We'll take a look. This one doesn't start at 0. It starts at 9, goes to 10, 11, and 12. So this one is going to be 10 and something, because you see the red dot is past the 10, it's after it. It's not to the 11, so it's going to be 10 and something. Remember when we did the other page, we counted the segments or parts between numbers, so let's do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the denominator here is going to be a 4. When we count from the 10 to the red dot, we get 1. That's 1/4. And you know that 1/4 can be turned into a decimal called 0.25, right? Those are quarters. So our answer turns out to be 0.25. That should have been bigger. 0.25. And we see here on B, that's the answer. Not too difficult. Let's try another one. What value does the red dot represent on the number line? So we take a look back and sort of step back to see, okay, where does our number line start? This starts with 0 and it goes all the way to 3. You remember the last page went from 9 to 12. Don't let that confuse you on a test. Sometimes it might confuse you. So be sure you take a real good look at what your number line starts with and ends with. So again, because this is below 0, this is going to be a decimal or a fraction. We can see that our answers here are fractions, so we're just going to have to find the fraction of that red dot. So again, we're going to start from 0 and count the parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 parts, so the denominator is going to be a 4. Remember that that also means out of 4 or 4 total. This is a total. So we're finding a total or the part of the total. Then we start at the 0 and we count to the red dot. 1, 2. So this is 2/4. Now you might notice that 2/4 is not in our answer, is it? Whoops. That's because they've reduced 2/4 down to 1/2. 1/2 is here. When you reduce 2/4, you get 1/2. So our answer would be B. And let's try one more. What value does the red dot represent on the number line? Again, take a look at your number line. This one starts with 0 and goes beyond 1. But our red dot is below 1, so we know that our answer is going to be a fraction or a decimal, because a fraction is a part of something and a decimal is too. You can see from our answers that it's going to be a fraction. Let's figure out the denominator. We'll count the parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total parts. So that's the denominator, because the denominator is the total parts. Then we start again at 0 and count for the numerator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 10 parts. Now you won't see 6 out of 10 over there again because it's been reduced. Reducing means you divide the top and the bottom by the same thing. So if we divide these by 2, which you can do with every even number, then you get 3 over 5. And I see 3 over 5 here in B. So your answer would be B. Remember, on a test, if you see a fraction like that, you have to reduce it. That's just an extra for you. So this is going to be your assignment to turn into your teacher to say that you have watched this video and you have learned the assignment. It says write the correct letter on the blank line next to each fraction. So 1/2, they said, is letter D. This is where letter D is. It is 1/2. So you're going to have to find these fractions on the line and then write the letter to what it is. Please don't forget your name and the date. If you have any questions or are still confused about this, please go back and watch it again. You can watch it as many times as you'd like. Thank you.